In the heart of a distant land, where the sun would rise and set painting the sky with gentle shades of peach and lavender, lived a prophet named Elijah. Elijah had a courageous heart and a deep faith in God. But like all of us, he sometimes felt weary, and his soul longed for a place of peace and stillness. He had walked through many restless days, and now his spirit yearned for a refuge, a quiet corner where he could rest and feel the loving presence of his Creator. It was a simple desire, a search for a quiet embrace in the vastness of the world. One night, as the stars began to sprinkle across the dark sky like tiny seeds of light, Elijah felt a gentle calling in his heart. It was an invitation to go to a special place, a sacred mountain known as Horeb, the mountain of God. He knew that there, far from the noise and worries of the world, he might find the serenity he had been seeking. His journey began under the soft cloak of night, with slow, deliberate steps. The cool night air kissed his face gently, and the desert silence was a comforting companion, filled only with the soft shuffle of his feet on the sand and the distant chirping of a cricket along the way. Elijah met an angel who comforted him with fresh bread and a jar of cool water. The bread was soft and the air was pure, and each sip of water was like a balm to his body and soul. This gentle care strengthened him for his long walk, which lasted 40 days and 40 nights. During this time, Elijah walked through calm and serene landscapes. He passed through quiet valleys where the morning shadows stretched like protective cloaks, and across silent plains where only the soft rustling of dry leaves broke the silence. The nights were a spectacle of millions of stars, each a small point of hope shining in the vast dark velvet. Elijah felt the softness of the earth under his feet with every step, and his heart, though a little tired, was full of peaceful expectation. He knew he was heading towards something special, an encounter with stillness itself. Finally, Elijah reached the base of Mount Horeb. The mountain rose majestically against the sky, its rocky slopes a silent witness to ages gone by. It was a place that inspired reverence, but also a deep sense of peace. Elijah began to climb, his steps growing gentler as he neared his destination. With each step upward, the air became even purer, and the world seemed to shrink beneath him. Leaving him in a realm of tranquil solitude, he found a cave, dark and cool, offering perfect shelter for both his body and soul. The cave's walls were cold to the touch, and its interior was a sanctuary of stillness, where even the sound of the wind barely reached inside the cave. Elijah sat, wrapped in the silence that surrounded him. He waited, his heart open and still, ready to receive whatever God wished to reveal. And then, the stage was set for a series of events, but not events that would bring fear. Rather a gentle display of God's greatness, to show Elijah where he was not, before revealing where he truly was. First, a soft breeze began to blow. It started as a distant whisper, and Elijah barely felt it at first, but as the breeze grew, it became a strong wind. This wind was not violent or frightening. It was more like a giant breathing deeply. It whistled and sighed gently around the mountain, sweeping through the mouth of Elijah's cave. The rocks trembled slightly, and the soft sound of leaves rustling could be heard as the wind caressed them. It was not a scary sound, but a powerful one, a reminder of nature's vast strength. Elijah watched calmly, knowing that God was not in that mighty wind, but that it was a display of his work. The wind continued for a while, sweeping away the dust of the day and leaving the air even cleaner and fresher. Then, as gently as it began, the wind began to fade. The whispers grew softer, the whistling more distant, until stillness once again filled the space. It was a stillness deepened by the wind's passing, making the silence even more profound. After the wind came a tremor. It was a soft shaking of the mountain floor, a slight movement that rippled through the rocks. It wasn't a violent earthquake cracking the ground, but rather a gentle vibration, as if the mountain were waking from a deep sleep. And slowly stretching, Elijah felt the ground beneath him move gently, a light sway, and he heard the soft murmuring of stones shifting into place. The sound was deep and resonant, but not disturbing. It was a sound of the earth itself, a reminder of the solidity and strength beneath our feet. Elijah remained calm, his heart still, knowing that God was not in that tremor either. Though it too was part of God's great and mysterious world, the tremor faded as quietly as it began, leaving the mountain still and quiet once more, as if it were softly dozing again after a small stirring. The silence that followed was even deeper than before, a quiet that seemed to wrap the mountain itself in a blanket of peace. After the tremor came a warm and dancing glow. It was not a consuming or frightening fire, but a gentle and flickering light, like embers of a campfire dancing in the dark. The cave's shadows swayed gently, and the rocks took on a soft orange and reddish hue. It was a fire that seemed to dance with its own light, casting a gentle warmth through the night air. The sound of the fire was a soft crackle and pop, almost like a lullaby. It was a beautiful and mesmerizing scene, a reminder of the light and warmth that can come from fire. Elijah watched the glow, his face lit by its gentle light, and he knew God was not in that fire either. The fire burned calmly for a while, and then its flames began to dim. Its embers faded and the light withdrew, leaving the cave once again in its soft and familiar darkness. The stillness returned, deeper and more serene than ever, as if the mountain were now completely at rest. And then, after all those sounds and spectacles had passed, after the wind had calmed, the tremor had stilled, and the fire had faded, a deep and absolute silence filled the air. It was a silence that could almost be touched, so dense and peaceful it wrapped around Elijah like a soft, warm blanket. And in that silence, Elijah listened. It was not thunder, nor a loud voice, nor a strong command. It was a sound so gentle, so kind, that it could barely be heard. It was a whisper, a soft murmur, like the sound of a breeze so light it barely stirs a single leaf. It was the voice of God. Elijah knew it was God, not in strength, nor in power, but in calm and quiet. The whisper was filled with love, peace, and infinite understanding. It was the voice of a friend, a counselor, a loving father. There was no fear, no anxiety, only a deep feeling of being completely safe and known. Elijah covered his face, not out of fear, but out of reverence and quiet joy. He felt his heart overflow with peace. The outside world, with its noise and troubles, completely faded, and all that remained was the stillness of the cave and the gentle whisper of God. God did not give him difficult tasks or great challenges in that moment. Instead, he spoke of hope, of protection, and of a gentle plan for Elijah's future. God reminded Elijah that he was not alone, that there were others who also trusted in God, and that God's love was vast and unshakable. The gentle whisper brought Elijah such deep peace that his body felt light and his heart was filled with a calm he knew would last. He knew that even when the world seemed noisy and confused, God would always be there, in the soft whisper, in the stillness of his own heart. In the silence of the night, Elijah left the cave feeling renewed and at peace. The sky was now filled with millions of stars, brighter than ever, and the night air was cool and sweet. He looked out into the vastness of the universe, and he felt that God's peace was as great and infinite as the stars that covered the heavens. His heart was calm and satisfied, and he knew he could face anything with the certainty of God's gentle presence. Mount Horeb seemed asleep, its dark silhouette resting beneath the starry sky, and the entire world seemed to breathe in unison with his newfound peace. Now, my dear one, as the stars shine outside and the world grows quiet, can you imagine Elijah sitting calmly in his cave? Can you feel the softness of the passing wind, and then the stillness that follows? And can you hear, deep inside your own heart, the gentle whisper of God's love that is always with you? Just as Elijah found peace in the silence, you can too. Let the quiet of the night wrap around you, and know that God is always near in the small things, in the moments of calm. In your heart, sleep deeply now. My dear one, let the peace of the night fill your dreams. Feel safe and loved, just as Elijah did on the mountain. May your dreams be as calm and sweet as a gentle whisper. And may you wake up feeling renewed and full of the same peace. Good night, sleep well, and know that God's love is a soft blanket that wraps around you always. Welcome to Heavenly Sleep. Tonight we begin with silence. Not the silence that feels empty, but the silence that feels sacred. The kind that holds you gently, like the hush just before God speaks. Maybe that's exactly what your heart needs right now. Not more words, not more noise, but a safe and quiet space where your soul can breathe again. You've carried so much, thought so many thoughts, tried to hold it all together, but now you can let go. Let go of needing to have answers. Let go of the pressure to be strong. Let go of the worry that kept your eyes wide while the world slept. You are here, and here is enough. Let your body sink into rest. Let your spirit lean into peace. Let your breath slow, soft, gentle, like waves on a quiet shore. And now, let's pray together. Dear God, I am tired, not just in my body, but in my thoughts, my emotions, my hopes. I have been trying to hear you in the storm, but maybe you are in the stillness, so I pause right now and ask that you speak in the way you know I will feel. Not with noise, but with peace. Not with thunder, but with comfort. Tonight I rest in you. Amen. Now we begin. There was a prophet named Elijah, a man of fire and miracles. A man who spoke and the sky listened. A man who saw the power of God descend from heaven in flames, and yet he ran not from enemies, but from exhaustion, from fear, from pressure. He had just called fire from heaven, confronted hundreds of false prophets, seen God move in power, and still he ran, because sometimes even the strongest get tired, even the boldest need to hide, even those who hear God loudest need to hear him soft. Elijah ran into the wilderness. Alone, weary, he found a tree and laid down beneath it, and he said to God, "Enough, take my life, I'm no better than anyone else." Have you ever said that? Enough, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of being strong, tired of pretending, tired of holding it all up. And what did God do? He didn't correct Elijah. He didn't scold him. He let him sleep, and while Elijah slept, an angel came, not to lecture, not to warn, but to cook. The angel touched him and said, "Get up and eat." And there beside him was fresh bread and cool water. Elijah ate, and then he slept again, because sometimes healing doesn't start with answers, it starts with rest. The second time the angel came, he said, "Get up and eat." The journey is too much for you. God was not disappointed in Elijah's weakness. He met him in it. Maybe tonight you feel like Elijah under that tree, worn out, done, silent, and maybe God isn't waiting for you to be strong again. Maybe he's bringing bread to your soul, water to your weariness, rest to your spirit. Elijah got up, strengthened by that meal, and he walked for 40 days and nights to the mountain of God. There he entered a cave, and again he hid, but God came close and asked, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Elijah poured out his heart. He spoke of his fears, his loneliness, his disappointment, and then God said, "Go out and stand on the mountain I'm about to pass by." Elijah waited, and first came a great wind, strong enough to shatter rocks. But God was not in the wind. Then came an earthquake. But God was not in the earthquake. Then fire. But God was not in the fire. And after all the shaking, the roaring, the blazing, came a whisper, a still small voice, and Elijah heard it. Maybe that's what God is doing with you. Maybe he has let the wind blow, the ground shake, the fire burn, just so you could finally hear the whisper, not because he was distant, but because he was coming closer. And in that whisper, there's no pressure, there's no performance, there's only presence. So breathe deep now. Let the noise fade, let the fire settle, let the silence become holy. You are not alone, you are not forgotten, you are not too tired to be loved. God is with you, in the stillness, in the whisper, in the quiet strength that fills you even now. And in the next part we will rest with Elijah inside the cave, wrapped in the presence of the one who speaks with peace. Elijah sat in the mouth of the cave, wrapped in silence, wrapped in questions, wrapped in the gentle heaviness of God's presence. Wind had passed, the earthquake had stilled, the fire had faded, and now there was only a whisper, not a command, not a warning. A performance, just a presence. That still small voice did not speak to the world. It spoke to Elijah, to his heart, to his weariness, to his fear, and maybe that's what you need tonight. Not more noise, not another voice from the outside, but a whisper. From within, a reminder that the God who moves mountains also sits beside you in silence. God was not in the fire, but he was in the pause after it. He was in the breath Elijah took as he wrapped his face in his cloak and stepped out to listen. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" God asked again. But this time the words were different. Not because they changed, but because Elijah had changed. He was no longer speaking from panic, but from peace. He was no longer hiding in fear, but standing in the softness of God's nearness. Elijah answered again, with the same words, "I have been very zealous. I am the only one left. They seek to kill me," but the tone had shifted. The weight of the whisper had already begun to undo the lie. "You are not alone, Elijah. You never were." And then God gave him purpose. He told him to return, to anoint kings, to choose a successor, to walk forward. Because when God speaks softly, he still sends strongly. Rest does not cancel calling. It restores it. Maybe tonight you've believed the same lie Elijah did, that you're the only one, that no one understands, that it's too late, too far, too broken. But God is whispering to you now, not to give you answers, but to remind you who you are. You are called, you are chosen, you are seen. Is not finished with you. He has more for you, and the silence you feel is not absence. It is presence preparing your next steps. Oh, sit now with Elijah. Let the cave be your comfort. Let the stillness hold you. Let the voice within rise gently. You don't have to climb anymore tonight. You don't have to prove anything. You are already loved, already carried, already covered. The journey is not over, but it is changing, and tomorrow will not begin with striving. It will begin with softness, with certainty, with a voice that is quiet enough to change everything. The God of the whisper is still speaking, not in fire, not in noise, but in rest, in sleep, in breath. So close your eyes, let the cave grow quiet around you. Let the presence of God fill the silence. Let the voice of peace become louder than fear. He is with you now. He has always been. In the next part we will walk with Elijah as he leaves the cave, strengthened not by might, but by mercy. And we will follow the steps of a man who learned that the softest sound can be the most powerful voice in the world. You, dear one, who lies now beneath the hush of night, your body seeking rest, your soul searching for peace. Can you feel the silence wrapping around you? Not as emptiness, but as presence. Not as absence, but as invitation, a soft call to listen deeper, to breathe slower, to be still tonight. The hush is not something to fear. It is not a void to be filled with noise or worry. It is not punishment. It is not abandonment. It is a sacred space, much like the cave where Elijah waited, afraid and weary, far from the thunder of the world, tucked into a cleft of rock, surrounded not by chaos, but by a quiet so deep it could only be God. You too have caves of the heart, places you retreat to when life feels too loud, too painful, too uncertain. Maybe your cave is a bedroom in shadow. Maybe it is the back of your thoughts, where you try to hold it all together. Maybe it is the quiet moments between your tears, the breath you hold when no one is looking, and you wonder if anyone sees you, really sees you. And here, in this holy quiet, God whispers again. He does not come crashing in with wind that breaks trees, nor with fire that scorches all in its path. He does not demand or overwhelm. Instead, he arrives in the stillness, like a breath you did not know you were holding, like a warmth that settles into your chest without explanation, like peace that does not need to shout to be real. Let us linger in this moment together, not rushing, not resisting. Let your shoulders soften now. Release the tightness in your jaw. Unclench the fists you didn't realize were closed. Breathe in slowly, deeply, as if inhaling the very presence of God. Breathe out all the noise, the fear, the endless questions. What if, like Elijah, You have been searching for God in the noise, in the grand displays, in the answers that come loud and sure. But what if the answer was never meant to come in volume? What if it was always meant to come in stillness? In the steady truth that you are not alone, not now, not ever you, who feels exhausted by the demands of the day, worn from the weight of what you carry. You are seen, not because you shout for help, but because God is already near, leaning in, close to your trembling soul, whispering things no storm could carry away. You are loved, you are known, you are held in the silence. We begin to hear not what the world wants us to believe, but what is eternally true, that our value does not shift with performance. Our worth is not tied to noise. Our purpose is not something we must strive to earn. We are already written into the story of grace. Like Elijah, we are already part of a divine whisper that says, "Come closer, I am here. Do not be afraid." So as you lie still now, let that silence become sacred ground, a thin place where heaven meets earth, not in spectacle, but in the tenderness of breath and rest and peace. Let the cave become a chapel. Let your bed become a sanctuary. Let your heartbeat echo softly the truth Elijah came to know, that God is never far, even in the places where sound has stopped, perhaps. Especially there, for it is in the quiet where the soul finally has space to stretch, to open, to release, to receive. And you, dear one, are invited to receive now, not because you have done something to deserve it, but because you are His. You do not need to speak to be heard tonight. Your silence is enough. You do not need to move to be seen tonight. Your stillness is enough. You do not need to understand to be loved tonight. Your questions are safe here. Feel that. Now, a stillness that is not empty but full of presence, of promise, of peace. This silence does not judge you. It does not hurry you. It waits patiently, like a friend who holds your hand without asking you to explain. And maybe, just maybe, the whisper is already there, between one breath and the next, reminding you that even if you feel forgotten, you are not forsaken. That even if the world feels too loud, there is a quiet within that no one can take. That even if you don't know the way forward, God knows the way to you, and He is here. Let your mind rest in that now. Let your soul drink deeply of that comfort. No need to strive, no need to prove. You have nothing to earn here, only a whisper to welcome, only love to receive. And as you receive, you are reminded, you are Elijah in the cave, you are the beloved in the silence, you are the heart that God came close to, not with noise, but with peace. Stay here a while. Let the silence speak its holy language. Let the stillness carry you, and when you close your eyes, know that you do not close them alone. The whisper is still there. It always was. It always will be now. Gently close your eyes, dear soul. Let your breath come slowly, easily, as if the air around you were soft with peace, as if the night itself had come near to hold you. You are safe here. This space is yours, made holy not by what you do, but by the one who is with you. Let us go now, together, into a place not made by human hands, a space quiet as dawn, ancient as time, and tender as the voice that calls your name in love. Imagine yourself walking slowly across a barren land. The sky above you a deep indigo sea, stars scattered, like whispers of hope across the dark. The air is cool, the ground soft beneath your feet. And though no one walks beside you, you are not alone. You are being drawn, gently, purposefully, toward a mountain that rises ahead, tall and unmoving, yet somehow welcoming. This is not a place of fear. This is a place of meeting, a holy mountain where the sacred waits in silence, where God once spoke to a weary man who thought all was lost. As you walk, you notice your heart is heavy, not from sin or shame, but simply from living, from hoping, from trying, from carrying what was never yours to carry alone. And with each step you feel some of that weight lifting, as if the silence itself were gently loosening the sorrow from your soul. You reach the base of the mountain now, and there, just before you, is a narrow opening in the rock, a cleft, a shelter, waiting just for you. You step inside, the stone cool around you, the light dim but kind. And as you settle there, a stillness covers you like a blanket, not cold, but calming, not empty, but full. This is the cave Elijah entered long ago, when he had run from fear, from disappointment, from the noise of the world that told him he was alone. And here, in this very space, he met the voice of God, not in thunder, not in fire, not in wind, but in a gentle whisper that filled everything without needing to shout. You sit quietly now, in that same cave, not just remembering the story, but living within its silence. And the same voice that spoke to Elijah begins to whisper to you. It does not call you by your failures. It does not repeat the lies of the world. It does not shame or frighten. It simply calls you beloved, beloved. You let that word echo in your heart, as if it had always lived there, hidden beneath layers of hurry and hurt and trying, and now it rises. Warm and steady, a quiet light in the center of your being. You rest deeper now, letting the silence become breath, letting the peace become your rhythm. And suddenly you notice something more, not with your eyes, but with your soul. A presence beside you in the cave, close, gentle, familiar, and kind. It is God, not far off, not above you in judgment, but beside you, seated in your stillness, holding. No demand, only invitation. He says nothing at first, because there is no need. His nearness speaks enough. His gaze says more than words could carry, and you are known fully, deeply. Beautifully. You do not flinch, you do not hide, because here, in this cave, in this silence, there is nothing to fear. You are safe, you are home, and in this holy stillness you hear the question Elijah heard, not asked in condemnation, but in care. What are you doing here, my child? You do not need to answer right away, but you feel the question settle into you, not to accuse, but to open something, to gently stir the deeper parts of your heart where your longings live, your fears hide, your hope waits to be named. And when you do speak, if only in your heart, your words are met with understanding, with grace, with the kind of quiet that only comes from someone who truly listens. You speak of weariness, of confusion, of loss, of longing, and the voice that hears you does not rush to fix. It simply stays with you in it, and you realize now, this cave is not a place of escape. It is a place of encounter, and God does not send you away. He stays even as the stars shift outside, even as the night deepens, even as your breath slows into the rhythm of rest. He remains, and so do you, resting, receiving, renewing. Let yourself linger here as long as you wish. Let the silence be your sanctuary. Let the cave be your comfort. Let the whisper be your truth. You are not alone. You are never alone, not in the silence, not in the sorrow, not in the questions. You are held in the hush. You are seen in the stillness. You are loved in the quiet. And this moment, this space, is holy, is the thin place where the heavens come close, where fear falls silent, where the voice of God, steady and gentle, reminds you of who you truly are, beloved, chosen, safe. You do not need to leave this place tonight. It will stay with you, even as you sleep, even as your dreams come, even as your body softens and your mind lets go. You are carried in peace, surrounded in grace. The memory of this stillness will remain, like dew on the grass, like a whisper in your chest, like light rising quietly from behind the hills. But for now you rest, you receive. You are here, and so is He always. Asterisk. Breathe softly now, dear one. Let the silence settle around you like a blanket of stars. Let your thoughts quiet down. Let your heart become still, and receive these words, not as distant truths, but as gentle reminders spoken directly into the hush of your soul tonight. In this sacred silence, we do not strive, we do not perform. We simply receive. You are not alone. Say it again with me. In the stillness of your heart, I am not alone. Even when I cannot see the way forward, even when my prayers feel unanswered, even when the night seems long and my heart weary, I am not alone. Just like Elijah in the cave, I may feel lost, afraid, or forgotten, but the presence of God finds me even there. Whispers meet me where the thunder has passed. Love surrounds me when fear has worn thin. I am not forgotten. I am not abandoned. I am deeply known. Deeply loved, deeply held, let your breath follow the rhythm of these truths. Slow and gentle I am safe in God's silence, am seen in God's stillness I am cherished in the quiet places where the world grows loud. God becomes gentle where my strength fades. His grace carries me. I am not what I fear, I am not what I lack. I am not my worries or wounds, I am a child of the Most High, a beloved soul, wrapped in divine attention. I am not the noise I've lived through, I am not the expectations I've failed to meet. I am the one God chooses to visit in the night, again and again, and I choose to rest in Him. Say that again. Slowly I choose to rest in Him, not just with my body, but with my soul. I release the things I cannot control. I release the weight I was never meant to carry. I let go of the false stories and heavy names. I receive peace. I receive rest. I receive the nearness of the one who speaks in silence. Let your spirit stretch gently into this next truth. I am not too much for God. My questions are welcome. My pain is not hidden. My quietness is not emptiness. It is space, holy and open, for the whisper of God to enter in. I do not need to be louder to be heard. I do not need to fix myself to be loved. I am already seen, already chosen, already embraced. And even now, as I lie here in the dark, with nothing but my breath and the distant memory of stars, God is near. I am not invisible. Not to Him. He meets me in caves and corners, in stillness and shadows, in dreams and doubts. I am always held. Let these truths become part of your breath. Let them settle deep within you. Let them echo long after the night fades. Say this with me now, softly, like a lullaby for your heart. I am not alone. I am not forgotten. I am safe. I am seen. I am held. I am loved. Repeat these as long as you need. Dear soul, whisper them again and again until your bones believe it, until your breath steadies, until sleep draws you in like a river of quiet peace. And now, before we drift into prayer, let one final truth carry you into rest. The God who whispered to Elijah in the silence still whispers now, still waits, still loves, still stays always. Sometimes the silence is not empty at all. Sometimes it carries more truth than 1,000 words ever could. In the hush that Elijah heard upon the mountain, there was no thunder, no earthquake, no fire, only a still small voice. And that was where God chose to dwell. And tonight, dear soul, in the quiet of your own mind, in the hush that surrounds your heart, you are invited into that same sacred stillness. Maybe today you have been overwhelmed. Perhaps the noise of life pressed in too close, too harsh. Maybe the demands of the world have left your spirit stretched thin, your breath short, your heart weary. But here, now you are allowed to rest. You are allowed to exhale, to lean into the silence, not as something to be feared, but as something to be welcomed, like a soft blanket, like the hush of heaven itself. Can you feel it now? The quiet that settles around you like the evening air. It is not emptiness, it is not absence. It is the presence of something deeper, something eternal. And if you listen closely, you may notice a peace that has been waiting all along. Not shouting for your attention, but whispering for your trust. Elijah had fled, exhausted, afraid, feeling forgotten. He believed he was alone. He believed his mission was over. He believed even God had left him behind. And yet, on the mountain, in the sound of gentle stillness, God was near, reminding him of his purpose, his value, his place in the story that still unfolded. And so too, you are not forgotten. What if the silence you are sitting in now is not a void, but a doorway? Not a pause, but a passage? What if your stillness is not a sign of being stuck, but a moment when heaven leans in closer? What if all along, God has been waiting, patient, kind, never pushing, only present? You have tried so hard. You have prayed through pain, walked through shadows, kept going even when it felt like you had nothing left. And maybe tonight, you don't need to try so hard. Maybe tonight, you just need to be, to exist within the love that has always held you, that has never let you go. Breathe, slow, steady, gentle. Inhale peace, exhale fear. Breathe again. Feel your body soften. Feel your mind loosen its grip. Let the noise within begin to fade. Like ripples on a still lake, let your thoughts settle. Not because you forced them, but because you invited stillness to meet them. You are not behind, you are not late. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not abandoned in the valley. You are exactly where you need to be. Even if you don't understand it yet, even if you can't see the full picture, you are held within the hands of the one who never loses his way. Elijah expected God to arrive with spectacle, with power, but instead, God chose gentleness, the kind of gentleness that heals, that restores, that whispers, "You are mine," when the world screams otherwise. And maybe that's exactly what your soul needs tonight. Not more noise, not more striving, but simply the reassurance that God is still speaking. Even when it's quiet. So close your eyes, if they aren't already closed, and imagine yourself standing beside that ancient prophet, high on a mountain where the air is thin and the world below is distant. Feel the wind pass by without fury. Feel the earth hold you steady, and in the silence, feel the presence that never left. You are not waiting for God to come. You are awakening to the truth that He is already here, already whispering, already working, already loving you in ways seen and unseen. He knows your weariness, your wonder, your worry. He knows every silent prayer you've ever uttered in the dark, every whispered hope you've dared to believe. This stillness is not void. This stillness is sacred. This is where healing begins, where clarity dawns, where your soul remembers what your mind forgets, that you are beloved, that you are known, that you are carried. Even now, in this moment, something in you is being restored. Maybe not with fanfare, maybe not with flashes of light, but like a stream that finds its course again after drought, like a flower turning gently toward the sun. Your spirit is being renewed, so let yourself remain here a while longer. You don't need to move. You don't need to rush. There is no destination to reach. Only this invitation to stay, to breathe, to be still, and to know that God is God, that you are His, and that the silence is full of promise. You are enough as you are, not when you fix it all, not when everything makes sense, not when the road ahead is clear, but right now, in your quietness, in your resting, in your simply being. You are deeply, wonderfully, beautifully enough. And if tears come, let them. If peace comes, receive it. If nothing comes, that is okay too, because the silence itself is enough. And so are you. You are not alone, not forgotten, not unloved, not unseen. You are cradled in grace, wrapped in mercy, surrounded by divine affections. So stay in this hush, stay in this presence, and know, truly know, that the God of Elijah, the God of silence, the God of soft whispers, He is with you, He is for you, and He speaks still. Even now, sleep, dear heart, if it is time, or rest in wakefulness. Either is holy, either is held. Let your soul rest in the stillness, not as a place of emptiness, but as the sanctuary of peace it was always meant to be. Now, beloved soul, as the hush of night wraps around you, let your imagination become a sanctuary, a space where your spirit may walk and rest and hear again the still small voice that found Elijah. Let your heart breathe in the silence and let your mind drift gently into the sacred. Close your eyes, if they are not closed already, and picture a high mountain under a dark sky. The stars are many, scattered like diamonds across deep velvet. The wind is soft, cooler than day, and you feel the stillness settling around your shoulders like a comforting shawl. Ancient and holy, you walk with slow steps, unhurried, through a rocky path. The earth beneath your feet is steady, strong. You do not fear this journey, for you are not alone. Though there are no voices, there is presence. Though there are no sounds, there is music in the quiet. Your breath flows gently in and out, a rhythm that grounds you. Now you reach a wide ledge on the mountain, a place worn smooth by time and waiting, and you sit, or perhaps you kneel, or perhaps you simply stand. Either way, you are welcome here, The vast sky stretches above, and the valley below is still. And the world feels far, like a dream slipping into sleep in this place. You are safe, nothing rushes you. Nothing demands from you, there are no lists. No burdens, no need to explain, here you are simply known. Known by the one who shaped the stars above you, who carved the path beneath your feet, who whispers your name with kindness. You feel the breeze brush past your face, not with power, not with force, but with softness, as if the air itself is alive with peace. It carries no storm, no shout, no command, only calm, and you feel your shoulders loosen, your chest open. Your thoughts quiet you. Remember Elijah, alone and exhausted, hiding in a cave, waiting for God to pass by. And first came the wind mighty and wild, but God was not in the wind. Then the earthquake shook the ground, but God was not in the shaking. Then the fire danced and roared, but even there, God did not speak. And then, after it all, came a still small voice, and in that stillness, God was present. Now imagine that still small voice speaking, not to Elijah, but to you, not from far away, but near, closer than breath, gentler than wind, more real than anything else. Not a voice with sound, but a voice that your soul hears, a presence that wraps around your spirit with peace. It does not ask you to fix anything. It does not demand you to be more or do more or try harder. It simply says, "You are mine." It says, "I have not left you." It says, "Even in silence, I am speaking." It says, "Be still and know that I am God." As you sit on that mountaintop, you realize you are not waiting for something to begin. You are dwelling within something eternal. The silence is not the beginning of God's presence. It is the space where you recognize He has been here all along now. Let the scene grow even more vivid. The sky above deepens in color, a rich indigo, stars pulsing gently, and you feel warmth from within. As if your heart is cradled in light. The light does not come from the sun or the moon, but from within you. Placed there by the Creator who formed you with care, you reach out your hand. Not for anything in particular, but simply as a gesture of trust. And though no hand takes yours in return, you feel the invisible grasp of divine presence, strong and gentle, holding you steady, holding you safe. This is the place of sacred quiet, where fear melts away, where confusion loses its grip, where your name is not a burden but a song. And you hear it sung in the breeze, in the sky, in the silence, and your heart remembers. I am loved, I am safe, I am not alone. Let this space remain with you now. Let the mountain become part of your rest. Let the stars overhead stay lit as candles for your soul. And let the voice of God, quiet and kind, continue to whisper, not in commands, but in comfort. I see you. The voice says, I know your thoughts before they form. I gather your tears. I walk beside you even in shadowed places. I call you beloved. Not because of what you do, but because of who I am. The breeze flows once more, and this time it carries with it something gentle and new. The scent of hope, the warmth of grace, the promise of peace that does not depend on circumstance. And you breathe it in, slow and deep, filling every part of you with rest. The mountain is still here, but you are not alone on it. You are never truly alone. In every cave of fear, in every silence of sorrow, in every quiet breath you take, He is here. And His love rests now in this place, not because you have arrived, but because you are always arriving, always being welcomed, always being held. Let your imagination stay in this place, or let it fade as your body drifts toward sleep. Either way, the truth remains. You are surrounded by presence, by peace, by love that cannot be shaken. And if you return to this mountain tomorrow, or next week, or in the moments of waking or weeping, it will be here, and so will He. Speaks in the silence. And His silence is not absence, it is invitation. You are safe now, you are held now, you are known deeply, fully, tenderly. You are not alone, never have been, never will be. You are not forgotten. Even when the winds are loud, even when the fire blazes, even when the ground beneath you trembles, Even in the silence, perhaps especially in the silence, you are seen, you are loved. Like Elijah, you are not abandoned on the mountain, you are met there. With presence, with peace, with whisper. You are more than your fear, more than your exhaustion, more than your uncertainty. You are a temple of stillness, a sanctuary of calm. You do not need to strive to be worthy, you already are. You do not need to be loud to be heard, even your quietest sigh reaches heaven. You do not need to fix everything tonight, you only need to rest. You do not need to see the whole path, only the next step, and even that, God will light for you gently. You are not forgotten in the cave, you are found, you are remembered. You are not lost in the silence, you are discovered. The same God who whispered to Elijah now whispers to your heart. Be still, beloved, I am here. Be still, I am with you. You are part of something eternal, something tender, something sacred. You are not small in God's eyes, you are treasured. Your story is not over. It is unfolding gently, faithfully. Even in your hiding, there is hope. Even in your questions, there is grace. Even in your waiting, there is purpose. Like the still, small voice, you carry peace within you. You are allowed to be tired and still be called. You are allowed to feel overwhelmed and still be chosen. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are carried now, not by your strength, but by His. You are held now, not by your grip, but by His arms. Every breath you take tonight is a reminder that you are alive, that you are cared for. Every heartbeat is a sacred rhythm, pulsing with divine compassion. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not finished. You are forming. You are in process. And God is patient. You are allowed to sleep deeply, knowing heaven does not slumber. You are allowed to release every burden now. You are allowed to be soft, to be gentle, to simply be. You are enough tonight, exactly as you are. You are loved, not for what you do, but for who you are. You are not a mistake, you are a masterpiece. You are not a burden, you are a blessing. You are not alone on the mountain. Even when you feel you are, there is a whisper waiting for you, and it says your name. It says, I see you. It says, I have never left you. It says, come rest. It says, come be held. You are welcome here. In this quiet, in this night, you are welcome in the presence of peace. You are welcome to be still. You are welcome to exhale. You are welcome to surrender what you cannot carry. Let go now gently. Let your thoughts float like leaves on a river. Let your heart soften like soil in the rain. Let your breath slow, your limbs loosen, your spirit rest. You are safe in the stillness. You are safe in the silence. You are safe in the arms of the one who whispers. No shadow can hide you from God's gaze. No distance can keep you from God's voice. No pain can cancel your purpose. No fear can outweigh His peace. Tonight you rest under stars He made. Tonight you breathe air He gives. Tonight you sleep in a world He still holds. So let these words wrap you like a blanket. Let this truth hold you like a hand. You are not too much, and you are never not enough. You are just right, just as you are. This stillness is not empty, it is sacred. This silence is not absence, it is invitation. This moment is not meaningless, it is full of God. You are the beloved of the one who comes close. You are the delight of the one who whispers low. You are the joy of the one who made the stars, and yet kneels to meet you here. Sleep now, not in worry, but in wonder. Sleep now, not in fear, but in faith. Sleep now, not in striving, but in surrender. You are carried, you are calm, you are cherished. Sleep, dear soul, in perfect peace. Dear Father, my heart turns to you now. In this quiet night, in this sacred stillness, I come, not with grand words, not with loud cries, but with a soul ready to rest. You are not a God who hides. You are the one who draws near. You are the whisper after the storm. You are the stillness after the fire. You are the presence that lingers even in the cave. Tonight, Lord, I let go of the noise. I let go of the fear. the questions, the weariness. I lay them gently at your feet, because I cannot carry them and rest at the same time. You have said, "Come to me, all who are weary." So I come, not with strength, but with surrender. I come, not with answers, but with trust. I come because I believe you meet us in the still places, just as you met Elijah, when he was afraid, when he was tired, when he felt alone. Just as you whispered to him in the gentle breeze, whisper now to me, Lord. Whisper peace where there is anxiety. Whisper hope where there is heaviness. Whisper truth where there are lies. I believe you are here now, even in the room where I lay my head. You are closer than breath. You are nearer than thought. You do not need the thunder to speak. You do not need the earthquake to prove your love. You come softly. You come kindly. You come as a friend. Tonight I ask for rest, not only for my body, but for my spirit. Let my mind loosen its grip on all the worries it held today. Let my heart soften under your tender care. Let my breath slow in the rhythm of trust. I do not need to strive anymore. I do not need to fix what I cannot fix tonight. I only need to be, to rest, to belong. You see me, Lord, fully. You know the things I do not say. You feel the ache behind my smile. You understand the tears that never fall. You are not repelled by my weakness. You are drawn to it. You are not impatient with my tiredness. You sit beside it. You are not disappointed by my silence. You speak into it. Thank you for loving me in the cave, not just on the mountaintop. Thank you for pursuing me even when I retreat. Thank you for calling me gently, not with demands, but with love. God of Elijah, God of stillness, meet me now. Speak to me in dreams. Carry me in your mercy. Wrap me in your presence like a warm blanket. Let your angels surround this space. Let peace hover over me like a soft cloud. Let every worry shrink in the light of your greatness. Let every doubt dissolve in the warmth of your nearness. Let me remember that I am yours fully, forever, tonight. I do not fear the silence, for you are in it. I do not resist the stillness, for you have made it holy. I do not run from the quiet, for you fill it with comfort. Even if I wake in the night, remind me that you are still here, even if dreams stir me. Calm me again with your voice. Even if morning feels far, hold me until it comes. I ask you to speak, not in shouts, but in whispers. I ask you to hold me, not in restraint, but in love. I ask you to fill me, not with striving, but with peace. Tonight, I belong to you, God of rest. Tonight, I lean into you, shepherd of my soul. Tonight, I sleep under the same stars that watched over Elijah, the same stars you placed with care, the same heavens that declare your glory. You are the same yesterday, today, forever, and tonight, you are with me. I am not alone. I am not abandoned. I am not too much. I am not forgotten. You have written my name on your hands. You have counted every breath I take. You have watched every tear, heard every thought. I matter to you, deeply, eternally, and because of that, I can rest. Let your spirit fill this space. Let your light cast out every shadow. Let your truth silence every lie. Let your love wash over every wound. Make this bed a place of healing. Make this night a gift of renewal. Let sleep come easy. Let dreams be sweet. Let peace flow like a river through my soul. I welcome your presence now. I welcome your peace. I welcome your nearness. I do not need to perform. I only need to receive. You are the God who gives to his beloved sleep. So here I am, beloved, ready to receive, ready to rest, ready to let go, ready to sleep beneath your wings. Hold me until morning. Be the first thought when I rise. And if I do not wake, let me wake in your arms. Thank you, Father. Thank you for the stillness. Thank you for the whisper. Thank you for the night. Thank you for the promise that you are here, now, always. I am yours, Lord, completely, safely, peacefully. Amen and amen and amen. Sleep now, beloved soul. Sleep under the hush of heaven. You have walked with Elijah. You have heard the whisper. You have come through the fire, past the earthquake, beyond the wind, and now you rest where God speaks not in thunder, but in stillness. In gentleness, in silence. Let your breath slow, let your muscles soften. Let the quiet settle like dew on your thoughts. There's nothing more to fix tonight, nothing more to carry, nothing more to prove. You are safe here. This night belongs to peace. This silence belongs to healing. This moment belongs to you and to God. The shepherd of your soul walks softly now, not to wake you, but to keep you. He watches as you sleep. He guards your dreams with tenderness. Let your fingers unclench from the day. Let your shoulders release their weight. Let your heart return to rhythm. Let your soul lean back into grace, back into love, back into the sacred hush of being known. No fear can follow you here. No storm can touch you now. You are in the eye of stillness, and the stillness is holy. The stillness is healing. The stillness is God's gentle hand upon your brow. Close your eyes, precious heart. Let the last thoughts drift like clouds. Let them float, without chase, without worry. Let your spirit rest in the presence that never leaves. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not lost. You are exactly where grace knew you'd be, on this night, in this quiet, in this holy. Hush, the God who called Elijah by name knows your name too. The God who whispered in the cave now whispers to your soul. He says, "You are mine. You are loved. You are safe. Sleep now with no fear of missing, no fear of failing, no fear of falling." He holds the stars. He holds your heart. He holds your night in sacred silence. The fire is gone. The wind has passed. The earth no longer shakes. And what remains is the whisper. And what remains is the peace. And what remains is God. Breathe now, not with effort, but with ease. Let the breath be your lullaby. Let the silence be your song. Let the comfort be your cradle. You are not waiting to be loved. You are already held in love. You are not searching for peace. You are already lying inside it. The quiet around you is full of presence, full of God, full of stillness soaked in light. There's no darkness where His Spirit rests, only softness, only hush, only warmth. Let go now of tension, of time of noise. You are free to fall into rest, not as escape, but as return, back to the place where your soul is known. Elijah was not forgotten. You are not forgotten. Elijah was not abandoned. You are not abandoned. Elijah heard the whisper. So will you, even now, even here. The night is long, but the keeper of nights walks with you. Not in shouts, not in lightning, but in the hush that heals. So sleep, in the fold of His robe, in the still of His presence, in the hush between heaven and earth, where God still speaks. Sleep, not as escape, but as a gift. Sleep, not from weariness, alone, but from trust. Sleep because the one who never slumbers watches over you. No more words are needed now, no more answers, only this stillness. Whisper peace. You are surrounded, you are supported, you are sacredly still. Sleep, child of the silence. Sleep in the care of the whispering God. Sleep in the promise of peace that does not leave. Sleep, and if you dream, may it be of quiet waters and gentle voices, of warm light and open skies, of a love that is always near. Sleep, as Elijah slept beneath the broom tree, not alone, not forgotten, but held by heaven, held by grace, held in silence that sings. And before the dawn comes, before the first bird calls, before the light breaks again on your face, know this: you are loved, you are seen, you are not alone. Even now, especially now, sleep, dear soul. Sleep as the stars shine quietly above you. Sleep as heaven hums its ancient lullaby. Sleep in stillness. Sleep in peace. Sleep in the arms of God.